Just on Eberechi Eze now, because he's been having his Arsenal medical today ahead of a £67.5 million move from Crystal Palace. Our man, Gary Cottrell, asked Mikel Arteta about Eze today as well.
Can I, live at the news conference, mention a three-letter word? Eze?
Are you going to say mom?
Eze?
Yeah? Nothing to comment, and I can never talk about any player that is not part of our group, our club yet.
Just generally speaking, when you are looking to recruit a player, as well as their qualities on the pitch, how important is it that you get the sense that they want to be at Arsenal? Just generally speaking.
But that's the number one, that they want to be with us, that they feel something special to come to us, then the person, and that what personality we're going to bring, and then the rest comes. And I think we've done that very, very well in the last few years to create the group of players and the spirit in the team.
And if that unnamed player grew up supporting Arsenal, so much the better.
The better the feeling, the stronger the feeling, I think the better always, because it brings a different edge, a different will and emotion to what you do, and I think that always brings something extra. I think we are showing the ambition that we want to do, that we are here to win major trophies, to keep evolving and improving every single year, and that's going to come with demands, and those demands are clear. It's our competitors, what we're doing, where the league is going, and we're going to be in front, not just chasing or acting or behind. We just want to be in front of it, and every decision that we make in every area of the club is to try to achieve that.
All right, so Arteta pretty tight-lipped, but what is the latest, Carvey?
Latest is he's going to become an Arsenal player. It's all agreed, club to club, between Palace and Arsenal, also between the player and Arsenal. He's just having his medical. And you would think, I'm not a doctor, but you'd think that would be a formality because he's match fit, he's been playing regularly for Crystal Palace very recently. Once the medical's out of the way, I assume he'll be doing some club media because Arsenal will want to make a sort of big song and dance, why wouldn't you, about his signing. So perhaps they're filming that, the club channels are filming interviews with him, and then he will be unveiled as a Arsenal player. The only thing that's surprising to me is that Gary Cottrell isn't in the room where Eze having his medical, because for the past few days, Eberechi Eze must be sick of the sight of Gary Cottrell, because he's been doing a fantastic man-marking job on him. And I suppose once he signs for Arsenal, he'll probably breathe a huge sigh of relief, because not only will he be an Arsenal player, but probably he can get a bit of a rest from Gary for a few days.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be happy about that. Michael, what's Crystal Palace's side of this? Oliver Glasner was pretty downbeat about it, wasn't he, really?
Oh, do you know what? Crystal Palace, they won the FA Cup a few months ago, one of the greatest days of all their supporters' lives. Community Shield in the bag. They should all be so happy right now. But they're not, because Oliver Glasner has been so open. I was reading the quotes last night. Wow, I couldn't believe how downbeat he was on the situation. He knew that they would be losing a couple of big names this summer, but he wants big names in now. They know they're in the UEFA Conference League now. They could actually go and win that competition if they bring players in. They need to bring players in. They don't have Dougie Freeman anymore. They've recruited ever so well in the past. They got Eze from the EFL. They got Michael Elise from the EFL. But Glasner wants players in, and this is what he said to us a little earlier.
As long as I'm here, as a manager, I don't accept having a bad mood when we have such a maybe the best period in Crystal Palace history. So it's not acceptable to mourn about it, and that's why I always start with myself. That's why I said I don't want to talk about it anymore. Everything is clear, everything is communicated, and that's it. So I won't talk about any transfers until the window closes, or we confirm somebody leaving or somebody arriving, because I don't want to have this mood. And of course, it affects you, but I don't accept this for myself, because this is a time to enjoy. This is a time players are doing so well. Players are really so committed to the way we are playing, to this group, and this is time to enjoy. my responsibility is to take care of Crystal Palace. I'm employee of Crystal Palace. I'm responsible for the team, for the football performance, and for this. Of course, I'm worried about Crystal Palace if we are losing players and don't get the right ones in. And it's nothing to do with Oliver Glasner. It's just, I think this is my duty as manager, to tell the owners what we have to do.
It's me, nothing to do with Oliver Glasner. He's quite frank, isn't he? What do you make of those comments?
Look, Oliver Glasner is a fantastic manager. He's a fantastic communicator. I sense that he's getting a little bit frustrated with what is happening at Crystal Palace. And I think their summer has been ruined by UEFA. UEFA's decision, hugely controversial, to demote them from the Europa League to the Conference League, has really affected their summer and their summer planning. I think in normal circumstances, they would have won the FA Cup. They would have known that Eze and Mark Gahey were probably going to leave, but they would have known that they were going to be in the Europa League. They would have planned for that. They would have brought replacement in. It would have been much calmer. But the problem is they had to deal with this UEFA issue. They were fighting UEFA for weeks and weeks and weeks. They lost that battle. Then they had to fight them again at the Court of Arbitration for Sport as well. So that took weeks and weeks and weeks. So their eye was off the transfer ball because they didn't know which European competition they were going to be playing in. So I can see it from Oliver Glasner's point of view. I can also see it from the owner's point of view. They first had to deal with UEFA before dealing with transfers. And that's why at the moment it looks like they've been too slow in the transfer market. And I think that's why Oliver Glasner is a little bit frustrated.
What about the situation then with Mark Gahey? Where are we with that one then?
I think when you listen to Oliver Glasner, he's pretty clear. He feels that Mark Gahey has to stay. He wants him to stay for the season. He wants him to stay for the return leg of their playoff in Norway next week as well. But then when you listen to Steve Parish seems to be saying, look, we're going to have to sell him unless he signs a new contract.